Hey guys, finally, like I said a couple weeks ago, I was going to look at the Panasonic RA-6600. It's kind of, to me, it's kind of like a hidden gem in the fact that, well, it's not really hidden. A lot of people know about it. These fetch for between 100 and 200 bucks on eBay, usually when they trade hands. 200 usually if the HVAC player is working properly. The HVAC player on this one, speed-wise, it's fine, and it plays, but it just doesn't sound as good as most of the other HVAC players I have. And that's only this one. I've had other RA-6600s that I regretfully sold that the HVAC players played beautifully on them. So this one here, I don't know if it's a recap, if the head's just is just magnetized or what. I just never really took it apart to mess with it. This is my first one. That's why this is one I keep. One day I'm thinking about getting a parts unit and swapping the HVAC decks out. We'll take a look at the inside. Everything in here is all clips, so all these boards can come out and they just unplug from each other, and everything in there is labeled, so it's actually a relatively easy piece to work on. This is an excellent little receiver. It's rated only for a very small 13 watts per channel. However, I do believe it to be pushing out more than that. This is one of the only receivers I have never hooked a set of speakers up to it that didn't sound good. For shits and giggles, I even hooked my $4,000 JBL L100 Classics up to it, and it drove them nicely. I shit you not. So, yeah, it's not as bright as you think. I have the exposure up so I could avoid using the flash for this video. The flash seemed to kind of glare on the bronze finish. Like I said, it is a beautiful receiver too, like looks wise. And the HVAC player does record, and the tuner on it is incredible. Like I can pick up, I'm 80 miles northwest of Philadelphia, and I can pick up like 93 MMR 1029 MGKs over here. Yeah, and the tuner has a nice feel to it. Like I said, it has a good run. Like I said, it's just a fun receiver to use. Very basic controls. And again, everything I've ever hooked up to it sounded good flat. I do like the loudness on it just because of the low power it has. You know, 2 sets of speakers up to it. It can handle, it is 4 ohm stable. However, if you're running 4 ohm speakers, just like any other integrated receiver, unless specifically specified that it can handle it, only run 1 set of speakers, don't run 2. HVAC player. Actually, it's pretty full featured. Fast forward, auto eject, so if you don't have that on, it'll play continuously. If you have the auto eject on, when it gets past program 4, it'll spit the tape out. In record mode, it'll auto eject no matter what. You can repeat the same program, and again, in record mode, I believe the repeat doesn't work, it bypasses it. Pause, which is excellent for recording. The eject, I like how far into tape sits too, so it's not like completely sticking out. Eject. Like I said, you have mic mixing. Here's your typical record levels, and it does have a limiter too. Where's that at? It's over here somewhere. Oh, there you go. Record level, manual and auto. So you put it in automatic, it's a limiter, so it won't record hot. Let's see, loudness tape monitor, so you can have it to external tape or source, which just runs off your selector switch, external tape. You can hook an equalizer or a cassette recorder, another HVAC player, a reel-to-reel. I used to use it for an equalizer. Automatic frequency control, this helps you lock in the FM stations better. Let's go to input, check the inputs out. It's not featured very heavily as far as inputs go. You got auxiliary, tape, phono, FM, and AM. So it's pretty basic as far as your inputs go, but again, it's a little 13 watt integrated receiver. But like I said, I do believe it to be putting out more power than that. Usually this lights up white, but my favorite color is green, so I put a green bulb in here. The connections on the back are nice. I like the screw ones. I put stake-ons on there, but yeah, screw and connections are nice. 2 fuses for A and B. Here's your tape in and record out. magnetic or ceramic cartridge for phono in. There's your auxiliary, and this is your FM antenna. Now, like I said, the FM tuner on this thing is incredible. It's very good, and it holds its own against. Actually, this is probably one of the better FM tuners I have. The only one that really gives it much competition is the one of my Pioneer in the garage. That tuner is freaking amazing. So the bottom of it has that reflective piece for the light. As you can see, I have an LED green bulb in there. It's a motor for the 8-track player. But yeah, look at this. All these boards, they unplug, and they're all labeled. So that one's labeled MC4, and if you look on the board here, it says MC4 right there, so you know that plug goes there. And if you look, the configuration of the pins, you can't hook it up the wrong way. It's impossible. It won't fit, so you literally can't mess that up. And overall, I mean, it looks like a pretty decently easy unit to recap. There's your tuner. It's a pretty good tuner. It locks in the stereo very, very well. I just wish the 8-track player worked the way it should. Like I said, recap, magnetized. I really don't know. I'm not an electronics expert by any means. I just enjoy playing with it and listening to it. Anyway, I think that pretty much sums it up. Like I said, it's a pretty basic but very well built machine. I haven't come across one that didn't work. The only issue I've ever seen is with this one was the 8-track player on it. Yeah, you can't really see it. It's clean in there though. Awesome album, by the way. The tape counter on it does work. That's actually supposed to light up. The light bulbs burn out. I don't have an antenna hooked up to it right now, and I'm down in the basement, so that's why you're not really picking anything up as far as radio goes. Put it back to in the MMR spot. Anyway, guys, as always, thank you for watching, and let me know what you think. And I would have no problem recommending this guy if like I said, if you don't need an abundance of wattage, I have no problem recommending this guy, especially for a garage or a starter system, because I think she's underrated. I'm not going to sit there and tell you it's a Marantz or a Pioneer or a Sansui, because it's not. However, it will hold its own against anything in the same exact, trying to think of the best way to put it. With other units in its class, this will hold its own against any of them, guaranteed. And especially as far as the FM tuner goes, yeah, I wouldn't be embarrassed to show this off as far as an FM tuner goes, especially when you live in like a fringe area like I live in, where there's not much going on. It's awesome. And if you have one of these, hook it up to a set of L100s, originals, preferably, just because it's 13 watts per channel. But yeah, hook these up to a set of L100s. See what happens. It might sound better than you think. Anyway, guys, that's it for today. Thank you for watching.